Okay, so to get started really quick, I just launched up to display capture and everything else. Okay, so very simply, I'm using the prototype build method again and declared the static up here for the file itself. Apparently, I need to do something special in order to directly access the C drive because otherwise it doesn't give you write permissions. But other than that, I have the random number generator right here. And what it does is it'll create a new instance of the random class, do new random. New number is going to be the receptacle for that. So then new number is going to accept a number between 1 and 41. So that means it's going to accept a number between 1 and 40. Then it's going to push the new number into text and push it into the input text box. And then there's going to be a message box that shows, okay, your new number is such and such. This is just to check to see if the file already exists. This is just a Boolean function to check to see if the number is greater than 5. Then up here we have the scrape and save. Pretty much all that one's going to do is it's going to take the number that's inside of the input box, convert it back into an integer. Then it will run the Boolean check to see if it's big enough, if it's too big for the scoop limit being 5. It's going to remove from it until it's small enough to fit in the scoop, which is 5. Because otherwise it's just going to show that that number was small enough for the scoop. So if it's a number 1 to 5, it fits in the scoop. It doesn't have to subtract any from the scoop. Like if you're reaching into, let's say you're running a bakery and you had like a robotic assistant that was reaching into like a bag of flour in order to scoop flour out. This would say, okay, there's too much in the scoop. I need to remove some. Then down here, this final number wasn't actually used for anything, but if I wanted to add an additional line to these lines, I could say this is how much had to be removed or something of the sort. Using the var, I named the variable for the StreamRider addInfo as a new instance of StreamRider associated with this file, which is read nothing. Kind of taken off of a pun on Jon Snow knowing nothing. J just iterates through the array in order to write the lines into addInfo, which puts it in the text file. The message box shows that it completed properly, or there's the catch for the exception that says messagebox.show there was a problem with how it should have worked, and that just kicks it to the exception to a string in a message box to tell you why it didn't work. This is pretty much the final code that I'm going to be using. I'm just going to clean it up a little bit and add in some comments, but other than that, I am pretty much done. Okay, so now the final thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to show it running. So let me get past my antivirus. Draw number. Shows me that the number it randomly generated was 34. Then script and save. 34 is obviously much bigger than 5, so it'll loop through and make it smaller. Alright, tells me that's better, it now fits in the scoop, and then it tells me it wrote it to the file. So now I'll pop over here to my file explorer. Starting number was 8, that was the old file. It's actually going to be in that same one, but it's going to be source. It's going to be bin, it's going to be release, it's going to be right here. Hello, the starting number was 34, the end result was 5. All right. And that does it for me.